What's up, everyone? You have tuned into Pop Smoke, where real veterans speak on real issues. From combat zones to the home front, we break down current events, military culture, and life after service. This is a veteran-made, unfiltered, and unapologetically bold podcast. Lock it in, we're just getting started. Hold the pen and pop smoke. We are a veteran-made podcast. We all served together. We were all in at the same time, and we all, interestingly enough, went to boot camp together. But I'm excited. This is kind of our first episode that we're doing. We have been working kind of behind the scenes for the past, 6 months or so, and recording things and kind of getting some market research out there and getting a feel for it. And we feel like we're ready to launch and move forward. So I'm excited, guys.
Yeah.
Y'all excited
Welcome
too?
to Pop Smoke. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo.
I appreciate
Rock
the
and roll.
enthusiasm. That was great. I do think it's interesting. Like I said, we got a group of us, but the three of us specifically on here, we all went to boot camp together. So we all were also in different platoons at boot camp. So none of us knew each other in boot camp. But I think we've talked a lot about boot camp stuff in the past, and everybody had a little bit of a different boot camp experience. Jacob, I know you said that you hated your boot camp experience, right?
Yeah, it was the worst. But yeah, my boot camp sucked horribly. I had a drill instructor that liked to choke me every day. Like I had to be
Right.
walking in line and dude just reach out and choke me just for the hell of it. And then like everybody be doing drill formation and working on drill, and that dude just had me run around with the fucking 5-gallon jugs of water or ammo cans over my head just around the fucking platoon all day. Like that's all I did. Yeah, that's all I did the whole time I was in boot camp. It was like, what the fuck is this?
Did you piss somebody off early on?
I must have. I don't know. Like I don't
Okay.
feel like I did, but I think he must have just thought I was cute.
Maybe.
Probably.
Usually they only fucked with people that were, fuck ups or pissed them off,
I didn't fuck up. I don't think I really fucked up anything, and I didn't really piss anybody off. It's just I have a habit of rubbing certain people the wrong way like that.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
I got blasted on the last, what was it? 7 weeks? How many weeks is it?
Boot camp?
Yeah,
13 weeks?
13.
Okay.
So the first 4 weeks I slid through and was just blending in. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be that guy that just stays out of their vision, so they're not fucking with me. And they had so when I went down, I think I weighed 210 when I left for boot camp, and my limit was, or my weight was supposed to be 197 or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But they still take you if you're overweight. So I had these 2 stripes on my shirt, the fat boy markers or
Fat
whatever.
body.
Well, day one, they come in and they're they just fucking tear the house up. They're dumping everybody's foot lockers, and everybody's shit's just everywhere, scattered. And they were you got 30 seconds to get online, get all your shit, get online. And I just grabbed shit, dude. I ended up the only thing left that I had with the fat boy stripes was a sweatshirt. And
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you remember, it was when did we go down there?
April 2008.
So it was one particular week, it got really cold. I want to say May sometime, and it was they had to go get us beanies because we didn't have beanies and gloves and shit. And I had the sweater on, and it was I think they weighed in on Sundays for the fat bodies to see so they could progress their, or track their weight and whatever. And anyway, to make a long story short, I skipped a bunch of weeks because I didn't have the shit on. I was like, well, they don't I'm just gonna stand here and
Hell yeah,
in.
dude. That's legitimately, if you didn't do that, then
Right.
you would have 100% made the wrong choice. No,
that one day I had that shit on. I was like, well, I guess I should go up there because whatever, I was a fat body. So at this, but dude, I had lost fucking 10 pounds like
It's
day
like the
one.
point where they've really drilled honor, courage, and commitment into your head, and you're like, I got to go up there and I got
I
to
just
do
got to
it.
be honest. Yeah. So I went up there, and dude, that was a bad mistake. Like, I'm not gonna say his name, but you remember my kill hat. He was like,
Yeah.
so after that, boy, he was looking for it. He was like, who the fuck are you, and why are you up here? He's like, go away. I'm like, I'm supposed to be up here. What the fuck? I'm like, so then my name became Heifer because he
Fuh.
could say Hoffa, Heifer.
Yeah,
Where you
I
at? Where
remember
you at,
that.
Heifer?
Because I was almost in the exact same boat as you. Is like we were both a little bit older when we went to boot camp. I turned 23 in boot camp, and I'm talking Jacob was younger. He was 19, but there was like 17. There was like one 17-year-old kid in
Yeah.
my platoon, and we were a little bit older, and I think we were in the same boat because we had been kind of preparing to go to boot camp the way that 23, 24-year-olds do, and you're just partying. Like I was puffy, I was like not in shape, and fortunately I made my weight by like a half a pound, so I didn't have the white stripes. But I feel you because I was right there, and people like that was the first time that people were like, "You're fat." And I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm not fat. I'm athletic, dude." But I
Oh,
was
that's
like shocked to hear that. Got I got fucked up for like 2 weeks because we were getting IT'd one time, and we were doing push-ups in the sand pit, and the DI came around. I guess my knees were on the deck, and he said, "Get your knees off the deck." And I was like, "They're not." And he was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And I was like, I got fucked up for like 2 weeks straight after that. But yeah. And then I think the funniest part, and I don't know if Ricky likes this or not, but it's legitimately the funniest story that I can remember from boot camp. Because, like I said, me and Ricky, we both had different MOSs, but we were like boys the entire time, like just from MCT. But before that, the first time I saw Ricky, they brought him down because he had gotten hurt or injured, like your knee swole up, right? And you came down on our deck because our senior was the duty NCO or whatever.
Yep.
And they were like, "What's wrong with you other than being fat?" And it was like everybody was like,
But you guys were still online. I remember. So
right,
like we had already done the whole like nothing new in a user report at this time, and like I did that, and he like pointed at my knee. He's like, "What's up with your knee?" It's like, this recruit fell or whatever, and it was fun. Anyway, he was like, and like they would make you go stand on the quarter deck and wait, and then he would finish all his shit, and then the like you're saying, the senior NCO, the NCO duty, whatever duty NCO would fucking say, oh yeah, he's got to go to medical in the morning or not, right? So like he had to get it run by, I guess, your drill instructor. So he took me down. Y'all are still doing this shit
right.
online. So everybody's online. And he's like, so I like walked past your quarter deck like to the fucking to your drill instructor, and he's like, "What's wrong with you besides being fat?" And like everybody was like, I don't know
Cracking
if
up.
it's in my, I don't know if in my mind everybody was laughing. Like
I think I think we were,
people,
honestly.
yeah, and like I don't know, like because I don't remember how they were with like people laughing and shit.
I think that was also that was like towards the end of it, right? Because that was where I think people started to feel at least a little bit comfortable laughing at stuff like that,
Yeah, it
because
definitely was like because I mean I was fine. I don't even know if I went to medical or not. What happened was it was after we did the confidence course, like coming
it
down.
was absolutely. But no, it's crazy. I mean, we've got a ton of like boot camp stories, and I don't want to just like be the guys that sit here and tell boot camp stories because that's kind of
that
lame.
shit's gay.
Gay.
But we'll touch on a lot of that stuff in the future. But again, for some reason, after MCT, me and Ricky were just boys. So like it was Myrtle Beach every single weekend. It was pretty much like wherever we were going somewhere on the weekends. Raleigh,
Absolutely.
Greenville, Myrtle Beach.
Concerts.
Absolutely. I remember the country festival, Great White Buffalo.
I took the
And
Sam
Han
Adams
wasn't
bottle.
yeah,
My
Han
brother
wasn't there
too.
for that. Yeah. Han was there for the concert, right? Like we went to
Yeah,
the
I went to the
concert,
concert.
left, whatever happened. And then I was driving back up from Georgia, like on post deployment leave. And I called up Ricky and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He was like, you got to come to Raleigh right now. And I was like, okay. So on my way back, fortunately, I was going up like a day early. And on my way back, I just went through Raleigh and we partied. And then we stole their inflatable beer bottle that turned into be like a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, they made a
But
big deal out of this shit.
yeah, I thought it was like a joke. Like, hey, this is going to be fun.
Like they obviously stole it from a bartender.
Right.
It's gonna be fun.
So yeah, we all did. Well, me and Ricky did 4 years and some change, and then Jacob, you and we'll talk about deployments and stuff at a different time. But we deployed together, and then you got another deployment, and you were looking at. I don't know. Were you thinking about making a career of it, or did you just reenlist?
I just re-enlisted. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do, and I just got married, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's." The only thing that made sense in my mind, might as well re-enlist. But then I got back, and I realized what being a garrison marine was. And I was like, "This is stupid. Like, why would you want to live like this?"
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want it.
Not at all.
But me and Ricky got out, and me and Ricky did one summer semester of community college together. And I'm going to be honest, that was maybe the greatest summer semester of college ever. I mean, we were going to community college, and I'm not trying to rag on community college, but it's not super hard. And so we didn't have to do a lot, and we would skip class and we'd go drink beers, and
Yeah,
just have
man.
a good old time.
Those
That's
were the days, man.
From the GI Bill, that especially back then, we had enough to pay for like a rent and go out and party like almost every night if we wanted to. We didn't
Yeah,
have
I
jobs. We
was
were just
actually
going to school.
I was trying to think like what I was freeloading off of what's her face, but like rent wasn't much, I think it was still only like $500 or
Yeah,
whatever a
it
month,
was
so.
dirt cheap. But no, we had a great time doing that. Partied it up big time. Now obviously there's a lot in between the community college that the semester that we did and now, but ultimately all three of us here now are fathers in different ways. I've got 3 girls, Ricky has a couple girls, and Jacob has 4 kids in the house. And so
How dare you call Cole a girl?
did I post for you?
Hey, did you like the little man like that?
My
I'm
bad. My bad.
gonna go
No,
get him. He's gonna come put you in a headlock.
dude, I don't want none. Yeah, all fathers, families right now. And again, it's just kind of coincidental that we all, we're tight throughout the fleet because we're all from different parts of the country. Jacob, you are from Ohio originally. Ricky, Northern Virginia, and then myself from the great state of Georgia. But yeah, no, it's just interesting because all 3 of us are kind of in the same boat, but all over the country and stuff, and we've all kind of stayed tight. So that kind of leads us to where we are today. So, Jacob, you're an HVAC salesman, right?
Yeah. Well, hard. Yeah. Been doing
Fucking slang
HVAC
that shit.
I've been doing HVAC sales for 2 years. I was a tech for, I don't know, 5 to 6 years before that.
You know what
So
I think of like with you when I think of you selling HVACs in Wisconsin? You remember in Tommy Boy, the Zelensky guy who was Dan Aykroyd? Like, I feel
yeah,
like you could be Zelensky slanging those HVAC units and then, kind of doing some shady shit on the back end. But with that Wisconsin accent,
I don't think I have a Wisconsin accent. Do I? Do I
no,
say
I don't
you
think so.
betcha?
You have a like northern twang, but it's not strong like that Wisconsin stuff.
Well, so let me ask you this though. Because you got out a little bit later, right? Like you ended up doing what, 6 years?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So what
Just
did
over
you
6
do
years.
like
Yeah.
when you first got out?
when I first got out, honestly, I job top. Like I started working, I stayed in the Topsail area. I started working, I built roof trusses for a couple months. And then I ran a illegal gambling hall for like a year until they shut that down. And then I
Oh
drove
yeah.
a taxi for like a year. And then I went out. And then after that, I moved back home and I got a job working on a soil boring rig. So just doing soil samples and like rock cores and shit,
Oh yeah.
which was fucking horrible. And then I moved out to Colorado and started doing HVAC.
Nice. And I think that's
Yeah.
part of what I think is relatable about us is that we've kind of been through that where you get out, you don't know exactly what to do. Each one of us has kind of been through that process. And then now I don't we're at a point where I feel like we've kind of discovered what it is that, we want to devote time to, that we want to, mix that family life with, all that kind of stuff, which I think is important. But Ricky, so you got out.
Went to school and did that whole thing, and was trying to be as close to my daughter as I could. At that time, that was really my main focus, and just surveying was
Yeah.
something I did before the Marine Corps, and I fell back into it. So
I
pays the
mean,
bills.
I know that it kind of sucks surveying, but at the same time, you've done pretty well with it. I mean, I think financially you've kind of carved out a pretty good career for yourself. But no, I get that for sure. Just kind of falling into the stuff that you did before. I did sales before and I kind of knew that was what I was going to do, but I got out, I went back to school and then ultimately just worked in the insurance. It was supposed to be a part-time job, but I started making like money, and for like a 25-year-old kid, I was making like money. And so I was like, I don't need to finish up school. I quit school, got married, kids, all that kind of stuff. I've had a couple different insurance agencies. And ultimately, I was like, I don't want to do this like long term. So kind of moved out of that. And then right now I'm back in school. Dude, think about how weird it was going to school when you were 26. Like, try going back to school when you're 40.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I can't relate to any of those kids.
I feel
So
like when I was going back and I was 29 when I got out, so 29, 30, you know what I mean? I was pretty old, but that was a while ago. Um,
yeah, when you were at ECU.
yeah, 12 years or so ago. And I feel like the kids have changed now, almost, I don't know.
I think it's interesting because I think when we had first gotten out and gone back to school, I think there was a ton of like left wing stuff going on college campuses. But I
Hmm.
think the needle has kind of moved back a little bit and we're going to try and stay out of politics for the most part. But I think it's kind of shifted back to where it's more in the middle on a lot of college campuses, depending on where you are. I mean, I'm in Kennesaw, Georgia. So there's going to be a good mix of kids there. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I think one of the things that we are going to try and dissect a little bit in the future is like the current recruiting numbers, which are all up. So I don't know if that's part of the shift in where kids are at nowadays or not. But yeah, so ultimately, all of us kind of have careers. Well, I guess not me anymore because I just got out of the insurance industry, but back to school. So yeah, we're kind of at a point where I think I'd like to think we've kind of figured some stuff out, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Any
definitely feel like I
thoughts?
have.
You do? You feel like you figured it out? Did you feel like you said you feel like you figured it out?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I feel like I found like in my life, I feel
Oh
like I
yeah,
found my
dude.
niche and what I'm good at. It's like one of the first
There you
times I
go.
wake up, like I don't get up in the morning like fuck me, I got to go to work today. Like I still do, but not as much.
People get up and they don't have
You
to, like,
hate what they're doing.
yeah.
I do think that the three of us have kind of figured out a little piece of what we want to do. And so I think that that's kind of what is relatable about a lot of this stuff and what we look forward to kind of covering. We want to bring some voices to the veteran community, especially for us, because I think that the majority of veterans out there right now are probably based upon the numbers that draw up like 40-year-old middle-aged veterans with kids now. We're going to talk a little bit about military culture moving forward with the episodes, kind of life after service, civilian versus military. We're going to try and have some veteran guests on as well that we can kind of chat with and bring a different perspective. But I guess kind of off the cuff. We were just talking about boot camp, the fleet, all that. Is there one story that y'all have that from the entire 4 years in the Marine Corps, or 6 for you, that sticks out to y'all, whether it be a boot camp story, a fleet story, a deployment story that you're like, or it could just be like a Myrtle Beach story, right? Because we had some of those nights.
And,
I mean, I had too many, dude. There's just too many. Like, I don't have one in particular. It's just like a whole lot of things. Like, I just remember, the rides down to Myrtle with no radio in the YJ, like, because didn't have
No
a
top on.
stereo system. The top would
I
just
was
be.
just driving. I'd hit the clutch, and you were shifting gears for me. Sounds
I was
gay. It
remember when
kind of was gay,
I was.
honestly.
It really is kind of gay, but I would sing and shit. Like, you'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I want to hear this song," and I'd be like singing and shit.
kind
yeah.
of sounds
No, that shit was
pretty
fun.
gay.
It was
Gay.
super gay.
Gay.
A lot of
But like I said, that's like I said, me and Ricky, we were always boys after MCT, to the point where like even our families were like, y'all are gay together.
So the first time I met
yeah.
Brad's mom, can I tell that?
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, go for it.
Wait. So I didn't meet Brad's mom. Had that apartment over there off of Oleander. His mom comes to the house, knocks on the door or whatever. I think I opened the door, right? And I came around. I was like, I put my arm. I was like, so what do you think about gay marriage?
No, it was even worse than that. Like,
What is it?
I
I
said,
forgot.
my mom was in town and she was just visiting, and she gets to the door, and whatever, she's like, your fly is down, and Ricky goes, oh yeah, that was me.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
She was
but
like,
yeah,
it was funny. She knew.
obviously, I mean, Ricky was the best man at my wedding. Ricky, you came to my sister's wedding. You kind of just, at that point, you kind of got initiated
I hugged
into
grandma.
the Ham
Remember when
family.
I hugged
Scared her to
grandma? She
death.
was like, who is this?
Because
What is he doing?
that was at Sarah's wedding too. It wasn't even at
Yeah.
mine. That was at Sarah's wedding. Like, facial hair for them, they were like, God, that is like hippie stuff or redneck. And you had a big old beard.
I think it was like,
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, you hugged her, and she was like, who is this guy? But yeah, no, we got tons of stories like that. And like I said, the three of us partied a lot back in the day as well. We did a lot of going up and down the East Coast. Well, not the East Coast, the Carolina coast into Raleigh. Yeah. We did a lot of crazy stuff, which I think also is pretty relatable for a lot of veterans from our time period. But I was trying to think if I had one story that I thought was, I don't know. We'll touch base on all of it at some point in time. For me, honestly, the shit that I think back to the most outside of like our deployment was exactly that, going on those Myrtle Beach trips and just doing stupid stuff, having 7 Marines in a hotel room sometimes. But we look forward to getting into those details, I guess. Not too much on the details, actually. But yeah, so stay tuned. We are going to have a lot of stuff coming out. We're going to be releasing 1 episode a week. In addition to, we're going to be doing some shorter segments that we release throughout the week as well. You can find us on YouTube at Pop Smoke Pod, at Spotify at Pop Smoke Pod, and then on Twitter at Pop Smoke Pod as well. So stay tuned. We appreciate it. Pull the pen, Pop Smoke.